me to be.
Welcome to Vonnie Knows Time Unmasked, and this is Women in Music Part 2. So I thought it only reasonable that I start with something of my own, a song that I get regular feedback from people that say they enjoy it and that it's a song that really helps them out. It's called Take a Breath, and this one is not one you will have heard before. Acoustic, I was going to say autistic, but that's not exactly the case. So it's the first time I've sang it acoustic for anybody. So here you go, guys. This one is for you. It's called Take a Breath, and it's the acoustic version by Vonnie Knows. It's pretty chill. I feel it now, a world of untold screams. Every little thing you do is getting right under my skin. I can tell you which way this day is gonna swing. These feelings come on strong from deep within. Back away, take a breath. I need this space to take a breath and breathe. We're getting tired. The world is crashing in. Every little thing we say has us ready for the tailspin. I can't tell you which way this day is gonna swing. These feelings come on strong from deep within. Back away, take a step. I need this space to take a breath and breathe. Don't look at me like that. If we wait a while, the calm always comes back. Memory of today will have to leave us. Back away, take a step. I need this space to take a breath and breathe. Back away, take a step. I need this space to take a breath and breathe. And breathe. So that was Take a Breath. That's Vonnie Knows, and I really just wanted to start there and get us in the mood for something a little bit more relaxed, a little bit calmer. So I have a few artists for this week, but I did kind of want to discuss kind of what happened when I... Oh yeah, well, let's do something a little bit more somber. That's the kind of week I had. That's the kind of sound. That's the kind of week. Yeah, okay, so I did the show last week, and you know, it was great. Did the show, put it out, I got some really great feedback from some really amazing people. Some really, really good people contacted me. But then suddenly I got a lot of reach out from YouTube marketing people. So I spent a lot of the first day just saying no, but the advantage being is each one in turn told me what they would like to change about my YouTube channel. So each time one of them told me what they wanted to fix, I proceeded to Google it and I fixed it myself, because this is how we learn. So I have managed this week to increase and improve the SEO on my YouTube channel by 100%. So thank you. Anybody want to reach out to me and give me tips on what else I can do to improve my YouTube channel? please do it. So that was a positive. Yay, we got a positive note there. So the other thing that happened is I did put a little post up on Threads. I got really excited. I was so excited after the show. And I asked if there was women in music who wanted to maybe send me some music. I thought it'd be amazing. And what I asked specifically is if they'd be willing to get in front of the camera and record themselves singing, and then I could share it on YouTube and give them a platform and maybe help them find some listeners, you know, as we do, because we're all artists. And really my ultimate goal here is to be able to find people to connect with the music, not just my music, but for everybody's music. You know, the world is changing. A lot of AI is coming in, and you know, it's going to be harder and harder for artists, real artists, the ones who really sing and make their music, to connect with people. So I thought it would make sense, yay, positive, I thought it would make sense if we did that. So, or I did that. Anyway, that's the passion I have, the goal, the idea I have in my head is that. So lots of people came forward, lots of people came forward, okay? Yes they did. And they said they would send me music, but only one person actually sent me a video. Okay, and this person, wow, okay, but from looking at social media, we had a very positive feeling, okay? So her videos on social media were really good, the voice sounded good, the guitaring sounded good, you know, everything sounded good, so I was really excited by this send. Oh, but then what happened? So I opened the video, and it's so professionally done. It was really, really great. It was a moving camera, it was in a scene that was beautifully lit, really professional. I was really impressed. The guitar playing was snazzy. This girl can play the guitar, this lady, right? Really good guitarist. I was very, very excited. But there was something that bothered me. She couldn't sing. Now, not that she couldn't sing. She could sing, but she was singing to my ear really flat throughout. And I waited, and I thought maybe just because she's singing live, that it just, you know, the way sometimes people can, you know, with the sound or being in this situation, they can just catch themselves and start singing in the wrong key, and it can sound out of tune. So I gave her the benefit of the doubt, and I listened the whole way through, but it didn't change. So I decided, no, this girl, she's got all the other stuff. She looks great, she looks the part, she's putting all this money into this, she's playing the guitar perfectly. The song is really good. I've got to look on her YouTube. I've got to find a video for this person that I can show to people that will really, you know, get people excited about her, because, you know, there was something special about her. But I just couldn't listen to the voice. Personal preference, and that is how it rolls. So I went through her YouTube, and there was lots of videos. Yay! So we get a very happy moment there, and I went through and I listened to 8 or 9 or 10, and then I went to her Spotify, very excited again, and I listened to quite a few videos or songs again. But in every song, even the ones that were professionally done and finished and produced and released and mastered and mixed and everything, she was still flat. And I thought, well, okay, obviously the problem is that I just don't enjoy the way she sings, okay? So, being the helpful, wonderful person that I think I am sometimes, although I am not perfect, but I do try, and I do feedback on Grover, so I do know how to give some gentle feedback and try and help other artists. You know, we all learn as we go, and, you know, because I'm in the role I'm in, I have the lovely situation where I can actually let people know I have a very good ear for things. Okay, so I sent a message and I said, would you like to know, you know, I like your music, I like what you're doing, but I have an issue. Ooh, so this is where it got weird, okay? So I have an issue. Can I give you some constructive feedback? So I didn't go straight in with the constructive feedback. And she said, thank you very much for your time. You can let me know. And then I said, well, look, I'd really like to direct you to a course. I'm not affiliated with it. So not affiliated means it's not a course that I get paid from, or that anybody has told me to sell you. I'm not selling it to you. It's actually a guy that has a load of free content. It's a singing guy. Guy teaches people how to sing. His name is Chris Lipe. I'm going to say it to everybody there, because I quite like Chris Lipe and how he does things. It's where I learned to sing. Yay, Chris Lipe, thank you very much. And everybody in Chris Lipe, and I've met some really great friends from Chris Lipe's course. And he has a really great Facebook group, so I'm going to say Chris Lipe's name again. I don't make any money from Chris Lipe, but I did ask if I could affiliate, but he doesn't do that. He doesn't need to, because he does loads of free content. And then if you're interested in the free content, he does a free course. So I just wanted to kind of direct her at that. And I really gently just wanted to say to the girl, you know, you have all the package. If you would just, you know, go and do a little bit of this, because his first 8-week course in Find Your Voice, I think it's called, he has you record yourself and listen to yourself back, and it's actually a really powerful way to find where you're having issues. And I do believe anybody really can sing, give or take a few tone deaf people in the world, but anybody, if they are really, really serious about improving their singing, it's a really good idea to do a little bit of course. So it really helped me. And I went from not singing at all 5 years ago or 6 years ago to where I am now, where I have recorded 13 or 14 songs that are released, and I've got another 100 songs kind of in the back end, sort of in some way or another. Those of you that know, you know. And I'm willing to stand here and sing in front of you guys today. So that's the last 6 years, and I sing out loud an awful lot now, and beforehand I never did because I didn't have the confidence. So Chris Lipe on YouTube, go have a look at his stuff. I might even put a link down below, but I am not affiliated. I do not get any money, and I do not have any benefit to me in suggesting it to you, other than the fact that you might give me better music, okay? And I enjoy the best kind of music. So then it happened that obviously I offended this poor young woman's sensibilities, and this is where we get into the conversation about ego. Anyway, so she got a little offended. She called me names. She told me I was a charlatan or something. Some other word. It wasn't that word, but that's basically the essence of what she tried to say to me. I didn't take offense to it, but it did upset me. Yes, it did. And the reason it upset me is because I spent so much time trying to give this person an opportunity, but because of her own inability to take feedback or see her own error, her own inability to heal her own trauma, which I'm not responsible for, because I'm healing my own trauma, just like you're healing your own trauma. She took offense and she got a bit snarky with me and she lashed out. Fine, no problem. I don't think I'll ever give you another opportunity, and if I was the sort of person who would put your name out there, I don't think anybody would give you an opportunity when you act like that. And I wish you luck, but unless you are going to find a way to listen to yourself sing, you won't really do so well on recording music. Okay, it might work when you're doing live because it's not quite as obvious, but when you're actually recording, especially in a world that we've got AI vocals and tuners, if you don't try and learn how to sing better, you're fuckered. Anyway, so that happened this week, and it made me think about ego. So I do want to talk a little bit about ego. So what I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to play another one of my own songs. Let's do that. So this song that you're going to see, this video, is not going to be me singing live. This is a video I made a few years ago, one of the actual very first music videos I made, and it's called Ego Zero. And I hope you enjoy Ego Zero by Vonnie Knows.
Wisdom 1, ego 0. Ego, you're a 1. Ego 0.
Ego grows while wisdom grows. Ego grows while wisdom grows.
Ego, goodbye. Wisdom, hello, my friend. Ego, goodbye. Wisdom, hello, my friend. Ego rose while wisdom grows. Wisdom won and ego lost. Wisdom won. Ego 0. Wisdom won and ego 0.
Wisdom one and ego none. Wisdom one and ego none.
Wisdom won and ego 0. Wisdom won. Ego 0. Wisdom won and ego 0.
Ego wisdom.
Wisdom won and ego 0. 0. 0.
How was that? That was Ego 0. So that one I just wanted to talk to you guys about this week. And then I wondered what else we could talk about. So I did want to talk to you about the next music artist I've got for you. So the next music artist I've got is a lady called Shirley Callaghan. Now Shirley had the forwherewith to, is that how you say that word? Forwherewith to? I don't know. Shirley's an Irish lady. Now Shirley is someone I met on my songwriting course years ago, about 4 years ago. We did the songwriting course and I had the absolute pleasure of meeting Shirley. And I've actually spent some time in co-writing sessions with her. We haven't completed anything yet. It is what happens sometimes with co-writing, especially when people are not particularly pushy and they've got a lot of projects on. But Shirley is very talented and she's been releasing her own stuff for the last year or so. And one of the songs she released is actually one that I helped mix because, you know, it's something I put my hand to. And she has sent me permission to share with you her video of her singing that live. Now, it is the studio quality, so the sound is pretty good. Now, the song itself is called Our Leaders Are Sleeping. So what's really amazing about this song is it's kind of political. And it does tackle some topics that, you know, are difficult and yeah, I mean the title itself, Our Leaders Are Sleeping, says an awful lot. I think, you know, obviously Shirley does tackle some of the bigger issues, and Shirley's style is a kind of dark folk music. You're going to hear it now in a second. She's got this her voice is very Sinead O'Connor-esque. She's got that or Enya. She's got that real Irish lilt to the way she sings. Now, I'm an Irish person as well, but I've been out of Ireland for 20 years, so I've lost a fair bit of it. But Shirley kind of holds on to that raw Irish womanness that you can't really replicate. There's no other culture that has a vocal quite like this style of vocal. So, why don't you have a listen to Shirley Callaghan's Our Leaders Are Sleeping, her live version, and we'll talk again after. Here we go.
tears fill up our rivers. How can he go so low? Ooh, the sky is on fire. Dictators conspire to crush our desires. Our leaders are sleeping. Our leaders are sleeping. Genocide, no freedom of the press. Trigger happy, who calls their success? Doesn't know where he's supposed to be. He lies on national TV. Ooh, we line up denial, enjoying our freedom in the midst of war crimes. Our leaders are sleeping. Our leaders are stolen. Get in line to quench the fire. Go to sleep, I'll switch the light up. My leaders are hiding behind a red line. Behind a red line. Where's the red line? Can't wait. Leaders are hiding behind a red line. Behind a red line. Where's the red line? Ooh, in our world of secrets, you act like you mean it. Looks like we've been dreaming. Our leaders are sleeping. You sent us a hero, one that we can follow. The empire is falling. Our leaders are sleeping. Our leaders are sleeping. Our leaders are sleeping.
That was Shirley Callaghan with Our Leaders Are Sleeping. So as women in music, Shirley is definitely one to watch, and I definitely think if you enjoy the female vocal, especially with the Irish style and that dark folk, she's definitely got, I mean, the darkness that comes through on Shirley's stuff is quite spectacular. It's really intriguing, and it's definitely something that it's surprising when you meet Shirley. I actually interviewed Shirley on the radio show. Shirley's a really gentle sort of person. She's really, you know, when you speak to her, she comes across very kind, very easygoing, and not too complex. Like, she's really smart. You can tell by the lyrics. You can tell what kind of brain she has by the way she sings a song. But as a person, she's really amiable and really easy to connect with. So definitely check out Shirley, because she's definitely one to watch. I've actually set up a Spotify podcast account, and I'm going to upload all of the content there as well, so it can be listened to on Spotify and Apple. I will do the same with the old radio shows once I take out the name of the radio station, and then you guys will have a back catalogue of my interviews with Rachel Zamstein, Shirley Callaghan, the Monoclones, and Dead Pollies, and anybody else that I managed to bag an interview with in the time. So due to the fact that I haven't actually managed to get a lot of videos of people recording their music, thus far. I do have some more music for you, and I'm going to keep this show an awful lot shorter because I think I would like to try and just publish more shows as this music comes in, rather than trying to do a particular schedule at the moment. So we just get some content up, and so that we can fill things. So I'm going to tell you something new that I've arranged. I have arranged a new Facebook group. The Facebook group is called Music Time Unmasked. So I just started it the other day. We've already got 60 odd members, mostly musicians and people that I know. So the thing with Music Time Unmasked, what I want to create here in this group is a space where people who create, and that would be poets, musicians, artists, can create a visual performance, and that is a human performance. Ideally, I want people to post up videos of themselves created music. So I want you to sing, whether you're singing with a guitar or along to your track, or however you want to do it. It doesn't need to be a big production. It doesn't need to be a music video. Just like we would post things on social media, I want to see people singing their own songs in real person, you know? I think there's an awful lot of AI coming, and we're going to have an awful lot of changes in the future, and in reality it's going to be really hard at some point to differentiate between what is AI and what is not. And I think it's really important that we have spaces where live music and in real person, you know? I think there's an awful lot of AI coming, and we're going to have an awful lot of changes in the future, and in reality it's going to be really hard at some point to differentiate between what is AI and what is not. And I think it's really important that we have spaces where live music and real artists can display themselves. So this group and this show is that is the aim. At the moment I am limited in how much of that I can show you because we don't have all of the content in, but because we're at the beginning. But the aim is that we can get all of these artists together, all of these people singing in front of the camera and doing covers and doing their original work, and then I can share them with you guys on the show, and we can hopefully give them a platform to continue turning their dreams into a reality in the music industry. So the Facebook group is called Music Time Unmasked, and it's an association with Vonnie Knows. And if you are interested in becoming part of the community, you can head over there. I'll put the link below, and you can join us as, even if you're not an artist, to come over and support the artists, because the idea being is they post something and then we can all enjoy it together. So it's not really a place where we're expecting people to give feedback, because I will not share stuff that's subpar. So it will be stuff still that has been filtered through me, and that will hopefully eventually end up on our show. It's also an open space where I would like people who are poets, a bit like Janette, because we have another poem from Janette later today, who are willing to come and say a little poem. Now, what I hope that can happen is for those of us who are poets, or for those who are poets, they may be able to put a post up and say, look, I have this lovely poem, like for example Janet's poem last week, which was called Unity. I have a poem called Unity. It's about women in music. It's about 3 minutes long. I would really love it if somebody could give me a musical background track. Could somebody create me a guitar? And then if somebody in the group who is an artist or a musician, and maybe not a songwriter, would be willing to record a 3-minute track for someone like Janet, who's the poet, and she will record her voice over it saying a poem, we can then create the next level of poetry, which is poetry with a musical essence to it. And it won't just be music that she's plucked off the internet and that exists. It could even be some sort of collaboration, which may lead to new music and new songs. Who knows? But I do think Janet has such a lovely voice and such a lovely tone in the way she speaks about things that it'd be absolutely lovely. And Janet is just one person who's into poetry. There's so many people who are poets. Even songwriters often start as poets. So it'd be lovely to create that. And then I also wanted the platform to consider people who are visual artists, so people who create videos or physical art, and that way we can maybe connect them together with the artists who are looking for album covers or videos or things like that. So you know, feeling it out at the moment, the main goal being for the performance arts, whether that be poetry or music, whether it has music or not, it doesn't matter. You know, if you're a lyricist, feel free to record yourself with singing your lyrics. Yeah, that would work too. I know some lyricists don't always do the melody, but do your best. You can do it like a poem. But the idea is to have people, real people, in front of the camera, and that is what I hope to share. Now, not everything that goes into the group is going to come onto this show, but again, you might get insight into what people are working on, and you might get to find some of your most favorite future indie artists there. So yeah, maybe check it out and see what you think. You know, if you join us, you have a voice too, so I'm there too on a regular basis, and you are free to give me feedback or contact me directly through social media and let me know what you think and if you suggest any changes. I'm sure there's going to be the odd person who wants to give a competition of some sort, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so next up I have some more music for you. So I have an artist called Yana. Now Yana is from Finland, I think. Now Yana sent me a song. She couldn't record it live for some reason. There's a particular reason. She says it couldn't be duplicated, this one. It's called Men of the Sea. So I'm gonna play Men of the Sea for you guys. I'm gonna put a little video here so you guys can have an image, you know, some sort of image to watch. I'll create something now, and yeah, it's quite a nice song. This is Yana. I checked her website out, and I checked. She's really prolific. She's really been busy. She is creating something for herself, so she definitely wants to look for. I couldn't find anything on YouTube though, so I haven't been able to find her content on YouTube. But she is up on social media. She's up in Bandcamp, and it's Yana, Yana. In real life, it's Jana, but presumably in English, she's really Yana, so that people can pronounce it properly. But in Finnish, it's Jana. Same with Spanish. So yeah. So this one is Men of the Sea by Yana. That is quite inspiring, actually. Yana has a way. She's got a very deep voice, actually, and it's quite beautiful. Quite a mature sounding voice and lyric. It shows the amount of experience and life wisdom she's actually picked up on the way. So Yana is our third female artist of the show, and I hope that you enjoyed that experience of listening to Yana. And if you have a chance to go over and support her on Bandcamp, maybe give her a follow and have a listen, or maybe even purchase one of her songs. I'm sure she would really appreciate it. Okay. So another topic I wanted to hit on this week as a woman in music. So I did some social media posts this week. So I used a tool to split up last week's show, as you would. And we're in an age of AI. So it's really cool that there's AI tools out there that will split the show up for me. And it split the show up into 14 pieces. Now some of those pieces were really handy because they were talking about each of the artists, and I'm still posting them out. And some of them were a little bit talking about the feministic aspect and the thing that happened at the radio station. So, but they're shorter and they're not completely in context, but they're a little bit, they're still full little stories in themselves, but they lead to each other and they lead back to the show. So I've been posting them out. So on top of me getting all of the YouTube marketing experts reaching out to me this week, I have had a number of religiously inclined men coming along and stating their views on me, and one in particular decided to say to me, I don't like this. And I said, okay, well, what do you like? He said, I don't like that you're teaching your children to work in, you say you have 2 daughters. So he's actually watched a lot of the show. You have 2 daughters, but you want them to work in a factory and be lesbian. And I was like, what? Did I say that? Like, first of all, I don't actually believe factories are going to exist not for humans to work in 10 or 15 years. I don't believe there will be human jobs in factories. There will be people who run the AI who work in the factories, but I don't believe there's going to be human working in the factories. Not by the time they're ready to work. And 2, I never said anything about lesbians, and whatever about lesbians, whatever they choose, I kind of hope my girls find their way and they choose. Actually, I try not to think about it because it's their choice, but will they choose to marry and have kids? Will they choose to not marry and have kids? Will they choose to have kids at all? Will they choose to have a partner? Will they choose to have many partners? I don't know, because I don't actually know that yet, because they're not old enough to have made those decisions, and it's not something that makes up their temperament or their personality just yet. But it's a very strange thing that when you talk about being a woman, that people come out of the woodwork and they suddenly accuse you of all sorts of what's the word he used? Jezebelness. So it seems this week I am a Jezebel. It ended the conversation with me saying to him, look, I have no problem with whatever you think about me. You go and think that in your own time. Because he did try to get twisty, and I did respond to one thing, and yeah, the next response he then just made up a whole lot of other stuff, and I just thought, one of these strange people who, it doesn't happen to be a man or a woman, but one of these strange people who turns things into an argument that literally don't exist, and they expect you to jump on that, and I yeah, very strange indeed. So second run-in with an odd person this week. So this is one of the reasons why I have held back, because it's not that I have any problem with trolls. My personal belief is when you get a troll, you made it. So when you're actually getting people trolling you a little bit, then actually people are listening and people are noticing, and it shows you that my SEO on the YouTube channel is actually working when I'm getting people who are completely uninterested, actually taking the time to comment. So that in a way is a good thing, but you also have to take into account that no matter what you do, this stuff is going to happen. And one of the things that has held me back as an artist thus far has been exposing myself to the public, because I know how fucking crazy the public can be, and I know how weird a lot of the weirdos out there are. And I'm not saying I think people are weird. I just know there's lots of traumatized little fuckers running around, men and women, and I just don't want to be dealing with the trauma. I am happy to help people to heal in the capacity that I have. I'm not a healer, but I'm a healing person, and everything that I've learned in order to heal myself, I can share. That's no problem. And if you're on a healing journey yourself, come along, join me, no problem. I'm happy to give you any knowledge I have on the process, and maybe we can share ideas and we can help each other. To me, that's how it works. It's that we're each responsible for our own healing. Because I've become more open, and I've become more exposed and more willing to be the person I have always wanted to be, and through healing, and I've gone through an awful lot, and I've done a lot of work on that, for 2 reasons. 1, because I wanted to be who I want to be. 3 reasons. 2, because I wanted to have a healthy relationship, marriage, which I've chosen to try again as my second, and you know, I'm doing it, and we have a healthy relationship, and we have a healthy marriage, and it's a really nice feeling, actually. And I have 2 kids, and both kids are healthy and happy, and I spend most of my day trying to make sure that the choices I make and the things that I do are helping me grow, which helps them grow, helps me heal, helps them heal, and all I can do is give them the best chance. And it's literally it's the whole ethos in life, really, in my view. Everybody has different things. Some people want fame and fortune, some people want riches, some people want to be the most spectacular weirdo ever existed. I just want to be happy and healthy and productive and connected, and it's not that complex. On that note, it's a really good idea if we do a little bit of poetry from Janette. So Janette sent me one this week, and I'm going to play it for you now. I don't have a video for it, so I'm just going to... Oh no, I do. Okay, hold on a second.
When a woman sings with crystal voice, soft tones longing to be heard, close your eyes within her song and visualize a beautiful bird. As the sun kisses the day goodbye, a solitary blackbird sings, raising her voice so clearly as a breeze caresses her wings. A gentle tone opens your heart while whispering to your soul. Words echo in your memory. Warmth within makes you feel whole. A woman's song weaves a spell, captures you with her magic. Without her music leading you, a silent world would be tragic. So we all should take a moment. Let a lady sing her blues. She shines so in her spotlight. With notes, she's paid her dues. Sing softly, little songbird. Cradle us within your breast. Soothing,
First time I heard Janet's voice, I was really whisked away into a storyland, which kind of reminded me and David, because we both listened together, of somebody who read kids' stories. Now, the first poem I heard of hers was really dark and twisty, so it wasn't even a kid's story, but the way she uses her voice and the way that the inflections are in her voice really carry a lot of story into it, and it's quite creative and artistic. So so that is Janette, and Janette is our resident poet in the Facebook group. So again, if you haven't had a chance to subscribe below here, or pop on over to Facebook and join the Facebook group Music Time Unmasked, I have to remember what it's called. It would be really helpful, and you will be able to get more of Janette's stuff. I probably won't be able to play all of Janette's poems because she can produce many. She's a prolific poet, but I'm definitely going to pick some for each week to play with you guys and share with you guys. Let's go out with something else. There's a lady called Holly. Now, Holly is a lady who I met in one of the Facebook groups that I've been part of, which are just about to close down, which is why I kind of thought it would be a good time to start my own Facebook group. And so in the Facebook group, Holly has been a very clear member. She's been proactive. Herself and her husband create music in their garage. I watched a live thing with them recently that they did a spotlight at the Facebook group, and they were the spotlights, and the name of their group is called Age of Fiction. So Holly and her husband Brian, I think with a Y because he's got Irish in him, so basically what I've done is I picked one of their songs. This is Age of Fiction with My Ex. Try this, guys. This is interesting. So those guys must have so much fun. The one thing I noted from the day I watched the live session, I'd only intended to kind of pop in for a few minutes because I wasn't sure if it was going to be my bag. And the music definitely, it's more prog rock, isn't it, than anything. So if you're into a bit of prog rock, then it's easier. But for those of us who don't normally listen to that style of music, it can be a little daunting. But Holly has an amazing set of pipes. Robbie is amazing on the drums, and the energy that they have between them is so fantastic. You can literally feel it. And the day I watched the live, that is the one thing that he watched her as he played. So he literally is playing alongside her to present Holly as the best version of herself in their band. And even the story about how they met and the things they've done when they were younger, they really are a love story, which is unheard of. It's such a lovely thing to meet, to have kind of connected with two people who have this kind of energy and this kind of special connection together, and then they create music and all sorts of other things, but music is one of the outlets that they choose to share with the world as a couple. So I know it's Women in Music Week, but I think I just thought I really wanted to include Holly's stuff here and Age of Fiction. So yeah, that was Age of Fiction. And if you haven't heard of Age of Fiction before and you are into a bit of it, they do quite a few live things. They're really prolific. So maybe head over to their channel. They've released an album recently which has like 20 songs in it. It's unbelievable how much music they've released. And check them out. So Age of Fiction, and they are on YouTube. And that video is actually from their YouTube channel. So I will tag them below as well. And don't forget to subscribe when you're here and subscribe when you're there. And if you're over on Facebook, join Music Time Unmasked, and then maybe you'll get a chance to actually directly speak to Holly or Brian as we grow. So I think that's all we're going to do for this week, guys. Well, I say this week for part 2. So watch the space, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. We're there. Subscribe. That is Vonnie Knows this week, and Vonnie Knows Time Unmasked is out.